So that'll be interesting. We've seen Cory's decks. We know he's playing sort of the headlocky runner.
Yeah.
And really, after seeing it now in 2 rounds, just a huge vertical glacier corp. Not even the biggest device, just taxing.
Yeah, nothing crazy, just solid.
Yeah. And that was really interesting, sort of spoiler alert, not really because no one will ever be able to see it. Playing against Alec, a lot of his ice was porous. He had HB clickable ice. And it ended up being a Himitsu Bako, which kept Alec out of HQ without a barrier breaker. And so that's what won Cory the game. So just goofy stuff like that happening all night. We just witnessed an Oracle May motivation deck on the other draft pod, which was exciting.
The guy's opening hand was amazing. Was a motivation Oracle May top deck to Eureka. That's the game is probably over.
Absurd. It's just absurd.
Just that.
But we'll jump into this one with Lance Baxley on the left here, running first against Cory's Corp deck. Looks like Lance, pretty decent start, has a Diesel. I think I saw legwork in hand, so he's got some draw. He's got some aggression if he wants to go that route. Cory looks like private contracts, ice.
Which is probably the draft equivalent to hedge fund ice.
Yeah, right. And didn't really see the other cards, but Lance draws a levy, so he's got recursion.
And a corroder.
And I think I saw an au revoir.
No, that's got to be an RDI.
What's that? Is that not au revoir? Au revoir? Snitch? I never.
Okay,
they
then
both look
right.
the same.
You're probably right. If you have Snitch, it probably has au revoir. Maybe.
I always confuse Snitch and au revoir because they are rarely ever apart, right?
Right.
So I've been told au revoir has a wine glass on it. What do I look like? A scholar? Somebody with eyes? So Cory, going to res private, probably just take 6 money.
Probably.
Seems to be his MO on both sides, Corp and runner. Lance has a Croter out early. He's gonna run here, jack out. Didn't quite get to see what that was. Obviously not a barrier that he was interested in breaking. So that could be pretty valuable, I think, in draft.
I like Snitch.
The ability to sort of just jack out and see get all that information.
Oh yeah, I mean, information is
yeah, it's huge, especially in draft when you don't know anything that could be coming. Cory very kindly shuffling his hand.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's good economy right there. But Cory showed us his the corporate town, brain trust, some other stuff that I don't remember.
Capital investment.
Capital investors. I always call it corporate town. I'm sorry. I apologize. They're not the same. They're not at all the same. But Lance can tend to
Dyson Mem chip.
Yeah, Dyson Mem chip and probably Mopus for some money, I would think. He's going to snitch run at R&D.
And the great thing about Snitch, if you look at it, I can't break it, but it's not going to hurt me. Go ahead and spend the money.
Yeah, right. You know? So he is going to keep going. It is a snowflake. So now they're going to side game, looks like. Yeah, and I think Lance is fine with that. Lance probably bids 0 here, forces Cory to spend money.
Yeah, Cory might bid 0 here and just not care.
Yeah, maybe. Trust the deck.
Okay. So, I think he drew a successful demonstration. So that was $1 well spent.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is. There's 7 buckaroos.
That's awesome.
And then he's going to take off private contracts and install in that remote. So probably getting ready to score that brain trust. Do you try and score the brain trust with the counter on it here?
No, never. Why?
Because it's so cool.
It's like
you see no breakers out. Oh, turntable. Interesting.
Oh, see, now you definitely don't do it because you over advanced your brain trust.
Yep.
Then he stills and turntables it.
Although, I guess it's not active. Text box is not active when it's in the runner score area.
Right.
That's unfortunate because the counter would stay on it.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you just got to find a way to force him to turntable for something else.
Well, that's when you bill a 3-point bill.
There you go.
And then
there you go.
Turntable.
And let him turntable
something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
No,
I don't know. But yeah, it is. In fact, the brain trust but he's double advancing it, Pacer, and leaving it.
It might not be a brain trust. It could be a priority wreck.
If it's a brain trust, I'm going to be so happy. Lance, see how he responds to this. Magnum is great in drafts, really just period, because you're never going to be poor.
Nah, it's the only thing might be stuck on memory a little bit.
Right.
And
he's got a Dyson, so.
Yeah, but he also has a snitch, so he's eating up 3 memory on
true.
stuff that doesn't break stuff.
Yeah. And he's got to draw into
so can he get his
breakers.
With a Magnum like that? I wonder what his other breaker suite is.
Yeah, well, and we saw the one diesel, but we haven't really seen anything else to help him sort of accelerate his rig. So.
Yeah, I don't know how many credits he's on either. Looks like 4.
4, no 2, I think.
2, okay.
4's pointing at the camera, so 2's on top.
Okay.
It's not really sitting on much of a lead here, so Cory's going to score that, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't see a way.
Because I think we've seen Lance draw here for at least 1 click.
Yeah, he's figuring out what to toss.
Oh, toss. Okay, sorry. So way further along than even that. Cory's going to spend 3, score the brain trust with 2 counters on it. One counter, right. Every 2 over, it gets 1 counter. So ice is now 1 cheaper to res.
It is. That's
pseudo economy.
It is.
Which, I mean, maybe it's relevant, but
you're
right. I will admit that you are right. With the turntable out, it's probably not the right play to do that. It's probably smarter to just fast advance it out. Cyber Cypher, the all-star of the Louisville Regional that rarely ever saw play.
Yeah, that's.
So there's his code gate breaker, but it's pretty limited. But doesn't Cory have to be worried now that his scoring server is just sort of defunct?
Do we know where he put the Cyber Cypher?
Oh, there's a token in front of HQ, actually.
Oh, okay.
So Cory's going to have to essentially draw stuff and put it in the server.
Yeah, which is
fine.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen his ice. We've seen it's good enough to sort of hold up to basic breakers and be really taxing. So we'll see what Lance's plan is. We did see a legwork, I think, early. So I think that's still in his hand. And what is that an imp?
That's an imp.
Okay.
I play it a lot.
That's fair. It looks like it has like a white thing on it.
Capital Investors. He paid to trash that.
I think that's smart.
Priority rack, yeah.
Private contracts.
Yes. Cards I don't play.
Private contracts is good. Gets so much hate, but it's so good.
It's not bad. It's just there's so much better stuff. Now in draft, it's fine.
Yeah,
in draft,
that's fair. So blue level, drawing some cards, getting a little bit of money. Cory's just at this point, I think, looking. Well, for economy, that's pretty good too.
Got the blue level into the restructure.
But at this point, I think he's just looking to score out, right? I
think so.
I don't think he can be too worried about that rig.
His R&D is kind of porous. His HQ, I don't know what the ice is.
I don't know what the ice is there.
I know it's going to cost 1 less to res.
Sure, yeah, for now. But apart from centuries and the run centuries, it's going to be pretty open to Lance aggression.
And remembering through his deck, I know he has a Lotus field.
Yep.
Next Bronze.
Enigma.
So if he keeps those code gates on R&D, he's probably safe.
Yeah.
HQ, he probably just installed a barrier.
Yeah, I think you just install barriers to tax the corroder, and then, you know, if Cyber Cypher is going to hit that other piece of ice, then whatever. Now,
Lance might have a scavenge and can jump that Cyber Cypher over to the scoring remote and snipe an agenda, but it looks like Cory probably has an Ash in there.
Yeah, and we know he has an Ash.
Yeah,
we've seen a red herrings.
Yeah, it could be a red herrings too. Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything else from him, but
he didn't get a Caprice.
No.
So I think that's right.
So he's installed advanced, passing back over to Lance. You know, this puts Cory on game point if it is a three-pointer. So.
Now here's interesting. So I'm not sure. Did Lance snitch the ice in front of HQ?
He has snitched the ice in front of R&D.
I think he snitched the ice in front of HQ too.
As well? Okay.
Okay. And they saw it, but we didn't see it.
Right.
All right.
But Lance isn't running, so we assume it's probably a century.
Or it's a code gate because he played the Cypher on HQ when he only had one piece of ice.
Oh, you mean the first?
Yeah, the very first
inner ice. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So now,
I don't think he knows what that new piece of ice is, though.
No, he doesn't. So I think Cory might have just trashed that ice. Should just probably trash
Should have, yeah. I agree with that.
Because I can't think of, like, Lotus Field, you're paying 5 and forcing them to 4. Sorry, you got the brain trust.
Yeah.
You're paying 4 to res the Lotus Field.
Even 2 for Enigma is probably not worth it.
That would cost you 1 and it tax them 2 credits if it's any click other than the last one. That'd be about the only thing, I think. Next bronze to feed off others. Huh. That's interesting. I don't think it's Lotus Field. I think if it's Lotus Field, he trashes it.
Oh, Ninja. There we go. There's the Sentry Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah, that legwork is still sitting there in hand. So he's been letting those agendas go to that scoring server. He does have the scavenge. We just saw it in hand. So
okay.
He can get into that other server. Makes you wonder why he didn't go for it there.
He doesn't have a lot of money.
That's fair. Cory going to res for free the Data Raven.
Is that no Data Pike?
Data Pike, sorry, not Data Raven. You know, same thing, really. Pike, Raven. They're just animals.
They both cost 4?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of them probably really a lot better than the other.
Yep. Well, so Data Pike never really got to see its full potential because it was Yogg was so popular for so long, and
it's before my time, Picture. You're dating yourself. A whole year further into the game than I am.
Well, it's just like you look at all this ice. It's like, oh, this is a code gate that has less than 3 strength.
Yeah, and it costs you 4 to res, which is pretty big.
Yeah. Now, it's great when it hits. It's like a mini toll booth.
Right. So Eli, that's going to be pretty taxing for the Corroder. 4 every time. But yeah, he's leg working, so he's got to continue here. We assume it's a code gate. There's the Enigma.
Okay.
So he'll pay through it. I can't imagine why he would not. But again, it is hard to see the credit total there. But there we go. He's accessing all 3 of those cards. Lotus Field. I don't know why he's considering imping this.
Why he would consider imping it?
Okay, so if Cory installs it over R&D, maybe it's a problem. But if it's on the scoring server, then you just move your Cyber there, right? And now Cory doesn't have a scoring server with code gates, right? So I don't think you consider imping it. I would consider imping the green level.
I'm not one. I don't tend to leave my imp counters.
Right.
I try to use them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I probably would have imped there the Lotus Field just to use it
so it doesn't go to waste, right? That's fair.
Now I might be conditioned because I've been playing against a lot of CVS lately.
Yeah.
And then most of the people I play will just auto purge next turn after you play a map. It's fine with me.
Well, and so Cory did install the Lotus Field on the scoring server. I didn't see if it was an agenda that he installed. Being told that it was a fetal, so maybe. Okay, so a lot of confidence over on this side of the camera. We'll see. Fetal's pretty good for Cory because it wins in the game, and as we've discussed earlier, it could be a pretty legitimate way to kill.
Cory's kind of low on money. He only has $6.
Yeah.
Or credits, or whatever they're called in this game.
But we do know his ice, not only is it 1 cheaper to res, but also generally he's not running huge ice. So.
Right. So far, that Brain Trust has saved him 2 credits.
Yep. For 2 credits. So it's a wash right now.
Two clicks and 2 credits, so.
Yeah. I think if he reses another ice or 2, it's worth.
I just want to see the turntable go off. Grab that Brain Trust.
But at this point, he takes the priority wreck.
Yes.
So
the
Brain Trust is safe.
I just want to see that's the key. That was the plan. I love it.
Yeah. See, I told you.
He has another legwork.
Is he really?
Or else maybe he just moved his hand. Okay.
I think maybe he was just looking at his heap or moving it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to evaluate
But, a second legwork would be a powerful tool to have in draft, but I don't think he would want to use it there, right? He had just seen 3 of the cards. All 3, in fact, right? So unless Cory drew it But Cory also then installed in the remote, so you have to assume it's the one you didn't see. So yeah, Cyber Cypher moving to the new remote.
Can't tell how much money Lance has. It looks
like 5, maybe 2. One of those round, squiggly, single-digit numbers. Cory deciding whether or not to res that Lotus Field, and he will.
I think he passed the Lotus Field.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I was wrong.
No, I think you're right, because he just paid 4. He just paid 4 for something. Oh, right, because Lotus Field is reduced by 1. And then he's changing his mind? He is, because he remembered Cyber Cypher just got scavenged. So he's going to res another Snowflake, which obviously Lance gets through, but...
Paid for it.
Yeah, paid for it puts him, maybe at 7 now? I don't know, it's hard to say. Roto Turret, that's pretty good. Because now the Ninja breaks for free. For 1.
2.
Sure. So really not ideal for Cory, but the Ash here to save him. She's going to pay 2. Pay 1.
Make it.
Trace 5. So Lance must have 4, 5 money, 3 money. Hard to say. Does the mask start with Link?
No.
Yeah, okay. So, but he did use the imp. So I don't know.
He has 1 Link from the Dyson, I believe.
Yep, you're right. So yeah, 3 money with 1 Link. Cory would have had to pay 1 to make it only accessible. But yeah, Cory's sitting on 3 money, not really in a position to score this Feudal. So it looks like he draws into both a Celebrity Gift and an Oaktown. So at this point, do you just sort of wait and force Lance to run into that Feudal? Because he's spending money to get there.
I think so.
And that's hard for you to score? And just then score the Oaktown, right?
I think so. He moved the Cypher off the Centrals.
Right.
So
your HQ is pretty safe here. I mean, they can't get through past Enigma.
Nah, I mean, he'd have to install something.
Yeah. So he's going to gift that he has the Oaktown. So if you're Lance here, what do you do? I mean, I guess if you can't beat the Enigma, then you do nothing, right?
Yeah, you try to get a Code Gate Breaker or a Scavenge.
Yeah.
Like,
so would you say with RDI in your deck that maybe it would have been a better idea to scavenge the Cyber Cypher on R&D?
No, I think he had to go for because Cory's at 6 points.
That's
or
fair.
5 points, so he had to fight for it. But I think he plays the RDI before he levies to get on the field.
Yep. Sure.
Okay, so Cory's going for it now. Nope, he's
just taking money. I mean, at this point, Cory can afford to do that, right?
Yeah.
Until Lance shows he has an answer to get into multiple servers, then.
He drew it.
Atman, yeah.
Yep. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has to get rid of something. Gets rid of the amp. Sets the Atman at
2 strength?
4 strength to get through.
If you put it at 2 strength, it gets through the Enigma and the Data Pike.
Yeah.
And so then you have HQ and R&D access, I think.
Yep, I think you're right.
So 5 to install that.
Yes.
Hasn't really been pumping for Magnum money this game.
Now Cory's put a lot of early pressure on
Yeah,
him, and
scoring those 2 early agendas has done that a lot. Drops the John Massanori, makes sense.
Yeah, this is
kind of a dead card at this point. Interns for the Ash. Take a credit. Yep. Yeah, so Cory probably going to, if Lance doesn't run this turn, say advance next turn,
yeah.
Force him to go steal it. Oh, drive-by. Wow. Cory, probably not expecting that.
No.
Really, really good there for Lance.
That's some of Cory's karma coming back on him.
Yeah, for sure. So Cory has just essentially wasted most of his turn for nothing.
He played a double for him
yeah,
to play a double.
It's a double for a double, but you know, 4 clicks, it's better for the runner.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's the Atman at
2.
2, yeah. So now he can afford to get into HQ or R&D. He knows the Oaktown is in HQ. Do you go for HQ here with a single access, or?
Well, he has to get that brain trust off the table. No, I'm kidding.
So does Cory go for it anyways? I think I would. With this much money,
I think I would too.
he's going to put more ice down. I think that's reasonable because I don't think you can drop the Oaktown without having another piece of ice anyways. Oh. What? Okay, so it was not a fetal.
Or else Cory's a savage cheater.
Yeah, well, you know, we've heard stories of that already once today. Stories that we made up, to be clear. Nobody's cheated.
On purpose.
On purpose, right. So, yeah, install, advance, the Oaktown.
Maybe he stalls over the Lotus field there.
Yeah, I mean,
one credit could make a difference.
It could. I mean, Lance has not been leveraging that Magnum. Oh, wow, another drive-by. Never mind. That's a planned assault. I thought it was another drive-by. I was so excited. Stim hack. Well, so there you go. That solves that problem. So we assume that's the red herrings then.
Yeah.
Lance can't know that. And I can't tell how many credits he has.
He has 9.
That might just be the Stim hack 9.
But I think he has 4 left back.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. He does have 2 dice. Did not notice. So there's a Lotus field.
So that's just 1 credit
Just
there.
1 credit.
2 credits for that.
And then he should have enough, right, for the Oaktown.
Red herrings will be 5.
Should be enough left over. With the
He
4
has-
he has. Assuming he has 4. I guess we're not sure. But no, I think you're right. That did look like a 4.
So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All he
7,
needs
8.
is 1 left on the Stim hack, and he gets it. So yeah, there you go. And then presumably turntables it. Yep, for the priority rack. So, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference for Cory, but for Lance, he scores another priority rack, he wins the game.
Yep.
So how are we feeling right now for Cory?
If he draws an
still
agenda
have
there, he
control?
wins. If he draws an agenda there, he wins.
Okay. Dyson,
If he
Lance
draws
is
a
going to be fine
fetal,
with that.
he probably wins.
Draws a piece of ice. Draws again. Installs.
All right, yeah.
So what does Lance do here? Does he just go up R&D? Hope for...
So if he thinks that's an agenda, I think he should be flat broke.
He's taking...
Opus, run?
Yeah, he's running R&D. Oh, he steals the priority requisition.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough. And, yep, there it was. That was the brain trust.
Yep. No, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
he did what he had to do.
Yep. That was, I got well played by Lance, you know, to get there. It seemed like he was in a hole with that pressure Cory was putting on and managed to pull it back. That's Stim hack. Tell stories about Stim hack.
It makes me wish the Oaktown was a fetal instead.
Yeah, for sure. That would have made a big difference. Because, he had maybe 2 cards in hand, but that slows you down a lot.
The Stim hack will take away 1, so.
And you got to pay for, the...
But that was good. That was an exciting match. I'm glad it's what I like watching about these where nobody's like completely out of it.
Right.
And you're able to see what you think is the underdog come back and win.
Yeah, and for both guys, there's so much unpredictability going on that, you know, a lot of things that might not make sense in play in a standard deck make a lot of sense in the draft deck, you know, which is really cool to see.